90-Day Fiancé star Patrick Mendes, divorcing wife Ramone, seeking sole custody of their child. The morning sunlight slowly entered through the large windows of the apartment, creating long golden lines across the floor. Patrick Mendes stood quietly near the kitchen counter, holding a cup of coffee that had already gone cold. The apartment felt unusually silent. Normally, there would be soft laughter, music from another room, or the small cheerful sounds of their daughter playing nearby. But this morning carried a different feeling, one that neither Patrick nor Thais could ignore anymore. Ramone sat at the dining table, scrolling through messages on her phone, without really paying attention to them. Her eyes looked tired after another sleepless night. The distance between them was no longer measured by the size of the room. It had become something much larger, something built slowly over many months of misunderstandings, arguments, and silence. Their relationship once looked almost perfect to the people watching from outside. Fans remembered the smiles, romantic trips, and emotional promises they made during their time together. They had faced cultural differences, language barriers, and family pressure before finally building a life together. Many believed their love story had survived every challenge possible, but life behind closed doors was far more complicated. Patrick slowly placed the coffee mug down and looked toward Thais. For a moment, he wanted to say something simple, something normal like asking about breakfast or their daughter's plans for the day. Yet every conversation recently seemed to turn into tension before it even truly began. "Did you sleep at all?" Patrick finally asked quietly. "A little," Thais answered without looking up. The short reply filled the room with even more silence. Their daughter was still asleep in the next room, completely unaware of the emotional storm surrounding her parents. Both Patrick and Thais loved her deeply. In many ways, she was the only reason they continued trying to hold everything together for so long. Over the past year, small disagreements had slowly turned into major conflicts. Patrick often focused on work and responsibilities, while Thais struggled with feeling lonely and unheard. She missed her family back in Brazil, and sometimes felt disconnected from the life she had imagined after marriage. Patrick, meanwhile, believed he was doing everything possible to provide stability for their family. He worked long hours, managed financial responsibilities, and tried to maintain peace whenever arguments happened. But eventually, exhaustion replaced patience. One evening, months earlier, an argument started over something incredibly small. Thais wanted Patrick to spend more time at home during weekends. Patrick insisted he needed extra work hours because of upcoming financial commitments. What began as a simple discussion quickly became emotional. "You're never really here anymore," Thais had said while standing near the balcony. "I'm doing this for us," Patrick replied firmly. "But we don't even feel like a family." Those words stayed in Patrick's mind for weeks afterward. As time passed, communication between them became colder. They stopped sharing little details about their day. Meals became quieter. Smiles became less frequent. Even happy moments with their daughter felt temporary, like brief pauses in an ongoing storm. Friends close to the couple began noticing changes too. During family gatherings, Patrick appeared distracted, while Thais often kept to herself. People asked if everything was okay, but both of them always gave polite answers. Neither wanted outsiders involved in their personal struggles. One night, after another emotional disagreement, Patrick stayed awake alone in the living room long after midnight. He stared at old family photos displayed on the wall. Pictures from vacations, birthday celebrations, and joyful moments filled the frames. Looking at them felt painful, because they reminded him of how different things once were. He remembered the excitement of meeting Thais for the first time. Their connection had felt instant and powerful. Even with obstacles in the beginning, they believed love would always guide them through difficult moments. Now, sitting alone in darkness, Patrick realized love alone was no longer fixing their problems. The following weeks became emotionally exhausting for both of them. Conversations about counseling and rebuilding trust were discussed multiple times. Sometimes they promised to try harder. Sometimes they even believed things were improving. But the peace never lasted long. One afternoon, Thais visited a nearby park with their daughter while Patrick attended work meetings. Sitting on a bench watching children play nearby, she quietly thought about how much her life had changed since moving to America. She had once imagined that afternoon.